Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
5, 3, 1.
Red 57, red 57, hot.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie hits a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for a Tuesday. Good evening. The crew's here. I'm Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. We're all here. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Another big show coming up tonight. We're going to, in just a couple of moments, take our weekly. We're going to have our weekly visit with the Glenville State head softball coach.
It's the Sara Scoone show.
Yeah. The Sara Scoone coaches show, as they've hunkered down in the location of the Division II College World Series site, which will begin play on Thursday. So we'll visit with her. Also, Mountaineer pitcher Ian Korn scheduled to join us a little bit later on, as the Mountaineers are preparing, of course, to host the regional. And tickets went, as we expected, like gangbusters.
Not any available, and if you go to the secondary market, the prices are soaring there. So yeah, it'll be a tight ticket coming up this weekend, as we thought, as everybody knew. It's going to be a madhouse over at Kendrick Family Ballpark. Be a great atmosphere around the games coming up Friday. And I know you're a weather guy, Kyle. You love the weather. The weather looks perfect coming up this weekend, at least Friday and Saturday for sure.
Absolutely, and of course, before we get to the regional, the state softball championship start, which is more immediate concern to me. I think we might have a little bit of rain tomorrow, day one, but then it clears out. There's a 0% chance of rain, I believe, on Thursday and Friday for the regional. So When's the last time we could say that?
Yeah.
Probably last summer.
Knock on wood. Let's keep it going and get some good weather. It'll be a fun night at the park.
All right, so 304 Talk 304, that's the text line. It is open, and I doubt we're going to get the pitching plans out of Ian Korn. But, of course, Mountaineer fans have been speculating about this for the last couple of days.
It's a fascinating discussion, isn't it? For those of us that love baseball, Kyle, you love this. You can get down in the weeds here. We could do 5 shows on the strategy behind this. And listen, Wake Forest is going to go through this. Kentucky's going to go through this as well, as they both have top-line starters as well. And I do think this is one of West Virginia's positives heading into this regional. They have got options, and the options aren't much different. And Ian Korn's going to be one of those guys joining us tonight. He is right in that mix. Yale and Chance and Cole are flip a coin there. Yale has Big 12 Pitcher of the Year behind his name, but Cole and Korn were right there as well. What Steve Saban's decide to do? Does he run Yale out there and keep a somewhat regular rotation with Yale being your first game of the series starter? Do you go Ian for game 3? Do you boot Cole? There's a ton of ways you could go with this. And it's really interesting.
Yeah, but knowing that you're the 1 seed and you're facing number 4 off the bat, and does that change your decision?
Well, I think you have to look at it. And here's my guess as to what would be happening is Steve's so big into analytics. He's going to dive into that Binghamton lineup and look at what it is. Is it heavy right-handed? Is it heavy left-handed? Because, again, this is not NCAA basketball 16 playing a 1 where it's probably not going to be an upset. Binghamton's a good program. School record wins this year. They have a guy that's a good pitch, right? They're going to have a top-line pitcher too. He goes out and gets hot, and you mess around with something and lose that, you can't forgive yourself if you lose the first game. And Steve talks so much out in Arizona about not wanting to get back on the bus with his guys not having pitched. I'm just fascinated to watch what the decision here is.
And it'll be fascinating to see when is that revealed. Like when the guy goes down to the bullpen to warm up on Friday, will he discuss it out front? I mean, that's going to be interesting. And Wake Forest and Kentucky have fascinating decisions to make because they both have clear-cut number 1 guys who have been dominant this year. And you would think you've got to, if you're one of those teams, you got to get into the winners bracket, right? So you have to sell out to win that first game.
I think they're just as fascinating as West Virginia's decision. I mean, you're talking about Wake Forest. Chris Lavonis was a second-round pick of the Brewers, guys, and decided to come to Wake Forest. Has the fastest recorded pitch in college baseball this year at 100.4 miles an hour. He brings absolute gas, and you're right, Kentucky's got a dude too. Are those two going to square off in the first game? If you're West Virginia, you certainly want that to be the case. Burn those guys on the first day, Friday at 12:30. That'd be great. I think that decision right there for those 3 teams in particular is the most fascinating part of this regional, and we haven't even got it started, Coach Hunter.
Lavonis has 110 strikeouts in 68 innings. Opponents are hitting 170 against him. And
guys, you don't get a second-round pick very often deciding to come to college.
Yeah.
That's not a guy down the board with great potential. A second-round pick, and he says, no, I'm going to play at Wake in college.
Kentucky's guys was all SEC, which obviously is a huge deal. Jackson Jelkin is 8-3, and he's got 98 strikeouts in 81 innings, holding opponents to 220.
And he's a high 90s guy himself, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got some dudes pitching in this event. And listen, that's not to say anything of Binghamton, who's going to come in here, and they're swinging for the fences, Greg, figuratively, right, in game 1 here. And you give them a top-line pitcher to go in game 1. Crazy things happen here. Very similar, Kyle, you're a big hockey guy too, right? And you get in the playoffs with hockey, and you got a great goalie. Anything can happen, and I think that's the case pitching-wise, and you're going to see some great arms in this regional.
Well, there's no doubt in a tournament like this, double elimination, it's so important to play through the winner's bracket.
Yeah.
Well, and that's especially true for West Virginia. How many times have we talked about the staff has been elite, but it's not super deep. You don't have a bunch of guys that have pitched a ton of innings. They've relied on those 3 we mentioned, and then you throw in Reese Bassiner and Carson Estridge. That's been your core 5 that have gone. So how critical is that for West Virginia to get out in front, hosting, and try and get that first win on Friday so you come back and not use a lot of your bullpen on Friday night, hopefully?
And we've got a week to speculate about it. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line if you'd like to join us. And also, there's going to be a Mountaineer connection in the NBA Finals with Deuce McBride. I believe had the most minutes last night in any of the 4 games and had a productive game.
Yeah, and he didn't play a lot, though, early. I don't know what they're doing minute-wise, and we're biased, but I think you gave him a lot of money. Put Deuce in the lineup there. But, yeah, what a series. We said last night, Kyle, that was going to be a surprise if if New York gets through that in a sweep, and they did. I didn't see that coming, but you can go back now, revisionist history, and see that blown lead by the Cavs in Game 1.
Crushed them,
any shot they may have had, and maybe they don't win the series because New York's clearly the better team, but any shot that Cavs team had, I think, evaporated when that lead evaporated. And congratulations to Deuce and the Knicks. They are on to the NBA Finals, and it's been a long time, 27 years since we've seen New York in a Finals?
So Deuce McBride last night, again, he had some huge games in the first round, but Deuce McBride last night with the most minutes he had in the series, and congratulations to him as he's on with this group to the NBA Finals. And what better way to become a professional sports legend to help the New York Knicks win an NBA championship.
Great point. If they get that done, now it's going to be a real challenge getting whomever they get coming out of the West. But listen, the Knicks aren't just winning games here; they are destroying teams in this route on the way through.
And Oklahoma City, those Western Conference teams, the Spurs and Oklahoma City, they're just beating the daylights out of each other.
They are. That's a great series.
So it could go 7. And then you've got, of course, rust versus rest if you're the Knicks. But Deuce McBride in the clinching Game 4 last night, 17 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and added a couple of assists and 3 steals. Plus 25, which was as good as anybody on the court for the Knicks last night, despite his limited minutes. 130-93, the Knicks waylay the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, and he's an example. If you listen to some of the national folks, he's an example they always use about the depth of this New York Knicks team, is you can throw him in there, and last night he hits 3 threes. He had a game earlier this playoff run where he had 7 threes in a game, and we know he guards as well. So certainly a valuable piece of that Knicks team.
Does it feel, though, you're the NBA guy, like the Knicks, Oklahoma, whoever it is, they better get their wins now because Wembanyama's got a streak of about 8 straight coming.
You mean in coming years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different dude, man. That's a different dude. So, yeah, you're right. That's going to be a challenge and a problem for the league in the years to come.
That series tied 2 wins each with Game 5 tonight back in Oklahoma City, and it looks like it's destined to go 7 games. So we'll see how that shakes out. Text line open, 304 Talk 304. Ian Korn coming up later. Mountaineer baseball team got basketball in the brain there with the Knicks. But Ian Korn will join us a little bit later when we return. It'll be interesting. Well, we'll see if Glenville State has arrived. They were scheduled to arrive by now, and if Coach Scoone goes onto the bus. Just, how superstitious baseball and softball people are.
They're always at a Chick-fil-A somewhere.
Well, that's true. They could be at the Chick-fil-A. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line. This is the CityNet statewide sports line for Tuesday. We're with you from the Health Plan Studios since 1979. The Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan. We are here for you.
Days, evenings, weekends, and holidays. You can't predict when you'll get sick or hurt. But WVU Medicine Urgent Care is prepared to help when you do. Our team treats minor illnesses and injuries and performs services like on-site lab and imaging, vaccinations, and sports physicals. WVU Medicine is ready to assist you and your family when life happens. To find the closest location near you, visit wvumedicine.org/urgent care.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
CityNet statewide Sportsline for this Tuesday night. We're inside the Health Plan Studios. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe, and with us from the road, from the site of the Division II Softball World Series, Glenville State head coach Sara Scoone. And Coach, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, good to hear from you again. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a blast for you and your team, having won a regional and a super regional, and now you're at the World Series. So if you can, put that in perspective for us and our listeners.
Oh, man. Well, I think Supers is just everything. Like, to make it to the Elite 16 with the chance to go to the World Series, I think all of our athletes, when they look back on their experience, they're going to absolutely love this whole week at the World Series, but they're going to look back and go, oh my gosh, that win at Supers got us there. You know, so I think that win will probably be their biggest. Now, who knows if we leave here with a national title? I mean, you really can't underestimate these girls. But yeah, so it's just been a wonderful experience for them all.
So, Coach, you guys have handled the pressure of regional, super regional really well. Obviously, winner-take-all situation in the Supers. But the World Series, I would think, is a little different. Even more pressure. What do you expect when these games start on Thursday?
You know, they're hard to figure out in that aspect. Every time I feel like there's pressure on us, they come out and do amazing. And they really, honestly, they just blow me away sometimes. I think there's more pressure on the coaching staff than there is on my athletes, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. However, going into this, I don't expect anything, you know. If this doesn't go in a positive light, right, like, okay, we're eighth in the nation. Dang. But as far as everything else that they have to look forward to, you know, don't get me wrong, we're not just showing up. Like, the goal is to go home with it all. But there's no expectation to play any certain way, just to play together, to do everything they have been doing and just to make good choices while on the field.
Yeah, you're so right. It's been a fantastic season regardless of what happens for here, a historic season for you all. I'm interested in what your routine is this week. So you have a couple days to prepare. You're down there maybe a day early than you normally would be, and you're probably right, gives you coaches longer to think and tinker with things. But what's the format over the next couple of days? How are you approaching this week as you get ready for game 1 on Thursday?
Yeah, so we just got down here actually like 20 minutes ago, and there was a check-in fiasco, and I'm like, oh my God, I have this call at 6:20, and I have to be on it because my mom loves the show with the 3 guys. So I was like, oh, I got to do this. So the assistant is running around. She's doing everything else. But as far as today, we're going to have a really good dinner. But going into tomorrow, we have our practice midday. Then we'll have to go and do some community service, and then we have a huge banquet honoring all the athletes here. So we do have a special award that may be presented to us. Well, I do have an athlete that is up for Scholar Athlete of the Year for Division II softball. Yeah, so that is pretty cool. That's Kylie Burdick, so her grades are, just phenomenal, and she put herself in a really good spot there. But as far as, so we'll see when that comes. But as far as the schedule, really they just give you it, and, they outline the day for you, and you follow that, and there's not really much thinking.
Yeah. Speaking of Kylie Burdick, so we're, we've all hopped aboard your bandwagon with, unabashedly.
Yeah, we're watching everything.
Yeah, we're watching everything, and I'm watching that super regional game, and she's out there, and they're getting runners on base, and I believe there was a home run, and the bases were loaded, and you kind of strolled out and just kept your cool and went right back, sat down on the bucket, and everything worked out. Everything turned out just fine. So where does that come from? Obviously, your leadership, that filters down to these players and kind of the low panic or the high panic threshold, I guess. Talk about that aspect a little bit.
Oh, thanks. I take that as a compliment, so thank you so much. As far as, I don't know if there's many times I walk out and I'm calm, but thanks for seeing that one. Kylie was on fire. The home run that was hit, I'm the pitch caller behind the scenes, and honestly, I probably shouldn't have called that pitch, and I kind of walked out there and I told her that. I'm like, hey, you got a 6-run lead. I'll wear that 1, but don't give up 6 more. But no, she did. She was phenomenal that game. She, peppered all areas of the zone. She got them to chase. I thought as far as their discipline, it was a pretty good disciplined team. So to see them coming out of their shoes and, going after that high ball, I did watch the interview that you guys had with Delaney also, and I thought that was so funny when you asked her about the strike zone and her answer, and I just thought that was so funny because, Kylie was getting a little frustrated, to say the least.
You were getting squeezed there, Coach. You were getting squeezed.
Yeah, no comment.
I understand. I said it, not you. I said it.
I just really root for my athlete, but but yeah, I thought as far as the tone set, Kylie was never rattled. Kylie just went all the way in, and she wanted that game from start to finish. I think she knew that she had a really good chance here to do something crazy, and she kept her blinders on and made it work. So it was really impressive.
So this World Series is in Chattanooga at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I just looked at their stadium. It looks very, very nice, including artificial turf, field. So have you played much on that? Mm-hmm. Because obviously the game plays differently when it's turf.
Yes, I love this question. Our field at Glenville State is probably the most beautiful field in the state. It is an all-turf field. It has a 200-foot, 8-foot tall wall all the way around. Our dugouts are all cement with the screen netting. I mean, it's truly a beautiful field. So for us, we are very thankful we're back on turf.
Sarah, let's go back to what Kyle was asking you about earlier. I'm fascinated about the mindset of pitching changes. And you have mentioned with us before how good your staff is, and it's a deep staff, and you have a lot of confidence there. There were times where it looked like you could have pulled Kylie out of there and gone to somebody else to close that thing out, but you didn't, and you stuck with it. As you're going through that, what was your thought process in that moment of trying to get that complete game done?
I thought in the first game with Macy and Megan, who are both phenomenal pitchers, I thought that Kutztown, with their bat speed, they were able to kind of lift a ball pretty well. And Kylie right now is the only one on staff who goes up hard and can go up and out, up and in. And when they caught up to Megan, I went back to Macy in the first game with the mindset that we might have a game 2 here, and I don't want them to see, we call her Bird, I don't want them to see Bird because I'd have to throw her all of game 2.
Okay.
So we put Macy back in, who has the phenomenal change-up, and try to keep the ball in the ballpark there. Kutztown kind of rallied, so it was more so about letting that game just finish, finding a way to finish that game to get into game 2, knowing that my girls right now are just so resilient. And the saying that we say all the time in our huddle is we feel bad for the person who has to play us after a loss. Because they're just bouncing back so well. So it really just worked out. I did tell them in the circle before game 2, I said, this is the hometown team. Let them have their win. These seniors deserve that chance to win one more time on their home field, but they're not winning twice. So they kind of rallied behind that and came out hot. And when we scored in the first and then scored in the second, I had a good feeling going through that game.
You were a player, of course, at the World Series with West Virginia Wesleyan. What do you draw down from that, if anything, to get this group prepared to play?
Yeah, I told our athletes I was very, very nervous as far as being an athlete in the World Series. That first time you go out there, just being honest, it's nerve-wracking. You get a little shaky and, you kind of adrenaline just takes over. And I told the athletes, I said, this will happen. Let yourself, face that, but face that for one pitch. That doesn't have to ride out for 7 innings. You've been playing all of your life, and this is nothing new. It's just a new setting with a lot more people watching. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a really just great experience. And I told them the only regret that I have from the World Series when I played is that I psyched myself out so much. I can't remember anything from when we played Malloy. So I told him, I was like, just let yourself feel that for one pitch. Go in there and try to remember everything you can. Look up into the stands. Tell your parents you love them and get to work.
That's awesome.
You mentioned Delaney Warnick. Have you experienced a hitter hotter than she has been? I mean, when she gets a chance to hit, because everybody just walks her anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have not experienced this ever. I said on another station where I was able to play with a couple All-Americans, and maybe I'm a little bitter that Delaney hasn't had any accolades sent her way. But as far as the performance, no, I have never played with somebody who is just downright beat everybody in postseason. So I hope that continues on. It's like she has this brand new scouting report. I mean, truly, the kid's hitting everything on all sides of the field. So knock on wood. But we love her. She'll never tell you that. She's as humble as can be. But she's definitely a star right now in postseason.
Yeah, and as a media star too, she handled the interview extremely well, as you heard. She was tremendous.
Yeah.
So Sarah,
she's been doing great.
Yeah, she's awesome. We say a couple things around here. One, we always say there's a West Virginia connection all the time, and then number two, we often joke that there's almost always a connection to Glenville. It's like you have to somehow run through Glenville if you're in the West Virginia sports scene. And I'm interested, former athletic director Marcel Lazenby, who was the AD at Glenville State for a while, is the AD at St. Leo, who's the #1 seed in this tournament. I don't know if you knew Marcel or have had a chance to see him, but there's a West Virginia connection and there's a Glenville connection right in the World Series with you.
Yeah, it's great, actually. Marcel sent me and Coach Skiles a very nice email and said, wishing you the best, wishing St. Leo the best, of course, but wishing you all the best. And I sent back, I said, we're in different brackets, and if it ends up being us two against each other, what a story to tell there.
That's awesome.
Glenville's the center of the universe. That's what
No
Coach
question.
Skiles always says.
Well, if you can remember, tell him Brad said hello if you get a chance and run into him down there.
Okay, I absolutely will.
Speaking of scouting reports, Coach, Missouri Southern, Thursday, 4 o'clock. That's the opener for your team. Scout them. What type of work have you and your staff put in trying to dig up a scouting report on Missouri Southern?
Listen, you guys are baseball guys, right?
Yeah, we are.
Listen, they have 158 stolen bases.
Wow.
Okay.
So they're going to move. So don't let them on base.
So, yeah. So my whole infield essentially is playing 20 feet away. No, I'm just kidding. We're just hoping to strike everybody out at that point. They are fast. Our pitching is a little bit deeper, and we have the same amount of power numbers. So I think as far as our hitting goes and as far as our pitching, we'll compete pretty well. If we play defense and we can keep speed off base, we'll have a really good chance here.
Do they slap and run a lot?
They do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
Pesky team. Keep them off base. That's the key.
Yeah.
Very good.
So we'll see.
Well, Coach, take a deep breath. You've arrived. We'll let you go deal with the hotel room fiasco. Hopefully your assistants. That's why you hire assistants, right, to solve those problems?
Right. Yeah, that's all on them. I just get to enjoy the ride.
All right. Well, very good. We appreciate your time. We certainly wish you the best of luck. And, man, there's a lot going on this week with the West Virginia Baseball Regional and you guys in the World Series and the state tournament.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, the state tournament's going on.
I was told to tell you, too, that Greg McCracken says hello.
Oh, Hello, Greg.
Yeah.
We know Greg very well.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. So, but, yeah, I wish WVU the best, and also with all the state tournaments going on, good reason to miss it, but wish I could see some of that. But, yeah.
That's okay. You got a good recruiting pitch saying you're in the World Series. That'll still work out for you.
That helps very much. Coach, again, we appreciate it, and best of luck, all right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Good luck, sir.
Coach Sara Scoone there from the Division II Softball World Series. Again, they will play Missouri Southern Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Let's go Pioneers. We've had a blast watching them the last 3 weeks. Heck of a ride. Hope they can keep it going here.
No doubt. All right, we'll focus on the Mountaineers when we return. This is the CityNet statewide Sportsline, and we're back to the Health Plan Studios right after this.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
Tuesday night on the CityNet statewide Sportsline. We're back inside the Health Plan Studios. I'm Kyle Wiggs. Greg Hunter is here. Brad Howe is here. Mountaineers preparing to play Binghamton. The opener for West Virginia in the regional is set for Friday at 5 o'clock. And with us is WVU pitcher Ian Korn as he and his teammates continue their preparations. Hey, Ian, good evening to you. Thanks for your time.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I know it's a busy time, and Coach Saban's talked yesterday about, getting to this point, getting to host is awesome, but there's also a lot of distractions that come along with it. Have you found that, and what has the coaching staff's message be to try to navigate all of the things that you haven't experienced all year long? People asking for tickets, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost treating this like a road game. So we're actually going to stay at the Waterfront Hotel downtown to stay away from all distractions. And, our message from the coaches has been to just focus on what we need to do to beat Binghamton. We're not worried about what the second game will be. We're not worried about, family that's going to stay in our apartments or what the deal is. Our focus is the day before us and what we're going to do to get better.
So, Ian, you transferred to West Virginia from not too far away, from Seton Hill, this past year. Did you imagine, though, I'm sure you had expectations, but could you have dreamed that it would have gone like this?
Yeah, I mean, this was the goal all along, was to come here and get better and hopefully win championships. So, you don't fully expect it to happen because, it's baseball and anything can happen in this game. But, to say I wasn't surprised would be a lie. So, coming here and doing what we've done so far has been really awesome, and what I actually came here for, because I picked this school over many other schools where they're already out of the tournament. So, I'm really excited to get going here in the last half of the season.
And kind of along those same lines, and this certainly is not the time for a retrospective because you've still got a lot of work to do and a lot of games to still play yet, but are you going to allow, couple-part question here, you going to allow yourself a minute to look up in those stands and see how crazy it is Friday night? And I know you've played in front of big crowds at Kendrick Family Ballpark. The fans have been awesome, but this will probably ratchet up to a new level. Number one, and just what do you think that'll mean to you as you walk out there, and where does the extra crowd and that juice manifest itself on the field? Maybe for you specifically as a pitcher, you get another mile per hour or two on your fastball. How does that show itself on the field for you guys when the crowd's so juiced?
Right, yeah. As a fifth-year senior with no eligibility left, all you can do this year is soak it all in. So something I've, made a goal is, every time I get out on that mound, is just take a look around and see all these people supporting us. This fan base is loyal. They really get into it, and they expect excellence from each one of us. So, it's something that's very unique and not many programs have out there. So to be able to bring this regional back to Morgantown and, add another 2,000 or 3,000 fans to what we've seen already, that's only going to bring, like you've mentioned, the more adrenaline, more velo, more spin, whatever it may be. We got to harness that adrenaline, though, and make sure we stay within ourselves and play the way we have been playing.
Coach Saban's described you. This is a direct quote. He's a perfect definition of a guy who showed up here and got better. So in what areas, another two-part question, in what areas did you get better, and how did you do it?
Yeah, so at my old school, we had zero technology. And when you go from that to a program that just built a biomechanical facility that's worth $5 million, and you got TrackMan, you got all this other technology, it's like, what do I even do with all this stuff? And, I was kind of nervous to use all this stuff because I didn't want to change what got me to that point. But it truthfully has helped. And, that's from different pitch grips to mechanical changes, all that stuff going into what has made me successful this year. And, I couldn't be more thankful to have the opportunity to use all that stuff because I know many other college baseball players in this country don't get the luxury of having that stuff.
Real quick follow-up to that. And you say all of this information and it could be an overload. So how did you sort all of that out? What's useful? What can be applied? I know there's an entire staff to help you do that. Was that the key to kind of let them sort it out, or how did you use all of that information?
Yeah, our staff is awesome. That was their goal with using all of that information, because most of it is stuff that we don't even understand. So we have a biomechanist that broke down our mechanics. We have 2 pitching coaches that sat down with her all fall, came up with drills and came up with certain things that we needed to get better at by looking at our reports and stuff. So them together made it super easy for every one of the pitchers on the staff to figure out what they needed to do to get better and work on that every single day through med ball drills, plyo drills, whatever it may be. They laid it out for us step by step and made it super easy.
So, Ian, we've interviewed a lot of Mountaineer baseball players, over the years and certainly this year, and all of them seem to have a similar story in that, they were a very good D2 player making the move up. And it just sort of interested, does West Virginia's past success with people like you, the Griffin Kerns or the Derek Clarks of the world, do they sell that to you in the recruiting process? Do you know about them, or is that just a happenstance?
Oh, yeah. At the moment that I started talking to them, that was one of the first things that they said was, we have a good track record of turning around D2 players and making them, pro baseball players. So, they continued that this year with having 3 pitchers and an outfielder from the Division II level. And they're only going to continue doing that because I noticed we already have a Division II commit coming in next year. So they have some dudes to lean on and use as examples as to how they come in and get better. And, it's proven. You had Derek Clark and Griffin Kern being Friday night guys. We had myself and Dawson Montesa starting on Friday nights at one point, and Chance and Cole. So, you can't get much better than that if you're a Division II pitcher.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was just going to say, you guys have gone ahead and you've taken the baton and elevated that status of those guys as well with the year you've had, and Chance and Cole, certainly. And Ian, let's talk about this week so far. It's only Tuesday, but it's been a busy week already. You had the great watch show, the selection show yesterday. It was a fantastic event. The line was outside the door before it opened, waiting to get in, and a fun environment inside there. And then practice today, a little bit different schedule, going a little bit earlier today. Tell us what else the prep is heading into the games coming up on Friday.
Yeah, that selection show was awesome. Having on Memorial Day where people can be celebrating with their families and cooking and stuff, to have that kind of showing was awesome. And that only gives us the motivation to keep working the rest of the week. And we're not going to do too many things different this week. We're going to show up, get a lift in once or twice this week. We'll have practice every day. And then I believe on Thursday, that's the first NCAA ran practice. So we're very limited on practice time and what we can do. So we'll have that, and then we'll stay in the hotel Thursday night, and we'll wake up and get ready for Binghamton on Friday.
Hey, real quick, by the way, did you like being mic'd up yesterday at the event? You handled that like a pro.
I've never been mic'd up before, so that was a first. But it was fun. It made me actually go around and talk to some people I've never talked to, even though some of those clips didn't make it in. But no, that was really fun. Some of the guys were making fun of me for some of the things that were said, but what can you do?
Yeah, easy.
Have some fun.
Easy to make fun when they're the ones not mic'd up, so you don't take any of that. You started the "Let's Go Mountaineers" chant. I thought it was an A+ effort, by the way.
I tried. I didn't have much of a voice coming back from Arizona State or Arizona. We didn't have much of a voice left, but we tried.
Hey, Ian, without giving away any secrets, can you give us a little bit of a hint on the Binghamton scouting report? Are they lefty heavy, righty heavy? Do they run a lot? What can you tell us without leaking too much out?
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I don't know too much about them. We leave that up to the coaches. They do all the scouting for us, and we will have a meeting on Friday, a few hours before the game, just about a few hitters that we need to, watch out for and make sure they don't beat us. And then the hitters will go over the starting pitcher for Binghamton and, run through his arsenal and stuff. So we honestly don't look at that at all throughout the week, just so, we don't get in our heads about it and overthink things. So that's another good area that our coaches focus on is, leave it on them to make the pitch calls and who should go in during a certain situation.
Yeah,
so
that all makes sense. Yeah, they don't overload you until game day.
Right, exactly.
So a lot of the conjecture here is, well, who's going to get the ball the first for this first game? I think Coach probably wants to keep that as a secret, so you don't have to tell us who it is. But will he let you guys know before Friday, or is this something that you're not even going to be aware of prior to the first game?
Yeah, so we do have the first two games lined up. I don't think it's been released yet, so I don't think I can say anything.
No, it hasn't.
It is not, so keep that to yourself.
We don't want to get you in trouble. We're just interested if you know or not.
Yeah, we do know. And, we're going to throw our best guys at them day one. And we're going to throw our best guys at them day two. So we've got a lot of good pitching available, and, I don't think the teams in our region are ready for them.
Very good. Well, Ian, we appreciate your time. It's an exciting time, obviously, and we're all with you. And we hope everyone has a great experience, and the Mountaineers win a regional for a third year in a row. That'd be awesome.
For sure. I'm excited for everyone to come out and watch us play. It'll be an electric atmosphere, like Saban said.
No doubt. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
Mountaineer pitcher Ian Korn there. A lot of interesting nuggets there, including the fact that they're gathering everybody together and headed for the hotel.
Yeah, I like that. Limit distractions. And I like just from a mental approach, like that does take a lot of weight off, right? You're not a pitcher having to grind through the report for 4 days. You just go out and get your prep in, and then the report's going to be delivered to you on game day. You get your notes, and you go let it rip.
You need to know what you need to know, right? Not a whole lot more. We'll take a break. Text line open, 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. We'll get to those texts in a moment. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door, and now is the perfect time to connect. More rural communities now have access to true high-speed internet. Local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today. Boating season is almost here.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline
returns in 2 minutes
on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
CityNet statewide sports line to the text line we go. We'll get through these texts here in the last couple of minutes. 304 Talk 304. Texter says, I read where the Big 12 is distributing roughly $610 million in revenues to 16 conference teams this year. That only works out to $38.125 million per school. I know that some may not be getting a full share yet, but that's considerably less than last year. Just exactly what will West Virginia's cut be this year, and how does it compare to last year?
That's a good question. I think it's up from last year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's right there. They are. There's some schools in there. The new schools are still graduating up to full share. So we'll have to dig into that and get back to you on actual dollars.
Texter says, I can remember when Nolan Ryan was the first major leaguer to throw a ball 100 miles an hour. Now it seems like several college pitchers can reach that number. Training must have something to do with it, ? Well, no doubt. Just like Ian just said, I mean, biomechanics, mechanics, period, and training. And strength training.
And bigger, stronger, faster athletes, right, as you age. But it's interesting, and that again, Lavonis had the highest pitch recorded in terms of miles per hour this year at 100.4. So he was the one guy that tipped the scales at 100 this year.
Texter says Glenville State women's softball coach is well-spoken, class act. We agree. That's why we keep calling her.
She's a great interview. She's as we've said many times. I'm not even sure she's a rising star anymore. I think she's just a star, both coaching and in the media side. She's excellent.
Texter says, what's the deal with the NCAA putting Kentucky in our bracket all the time in all sports? It's getting annoying, especially where I live. Which he didn't tell us where he lives, but I'm assuming he lives in southern West Virginia somewhere.
It's kind of fun. Listen, it's one of the rare times when the NCAA's gone to regionality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason why is it's baseball did clearly look at that. And Wake Forest, too. That's not a long ride
Sure.
for them to get up here. But Kentucky, 3 out of the last 4 years, it is wild how often we have West Virginia's met up with them, but that's certainly the case again.
Yeah, you look at all these 16 regionals. I'm not saying everyone. Virginia Tech's going out to L.A., right? But there are a lot of teams. If you look at the region, they're all teams in a little geographical
This
area.
Kentucky thing's wild. Remember back last year, you beat them twice. And the second time, you came from down 5 runs 2 different times to win that game and advance on. So this is one of those non-traditional rivalries that turns into instant. This is going to get chippy, loud, and emotional if those 2 teams meet, which will make it even more fun over at the Ken.
Texter says, Ian, can of corn is awesome. So you enjoyed the Ian Korn interview. This texter points out, yes, ton more guys throwing 100 and a lot more Tommy John procedures as well. I mean, that's part of it. You know, that's part of it. And not only at all levels of baseball, velocity has been an expectation. That's probably what's changed baseball the most in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Is guys trying to throw as hard as they can for as long as they can, and that leads to injuries. I mean, again, we talked about it yesterday. I watched Jacob Mizorowski throw 43 pitches over 100 miles an hour in 7 or 8 innings against the
It's
Cardinals.
outrageous. And the evolution of that is it's not just the closer. In our day, Kyle, it was the closer that came in and threw
Goose
95.
Gossage.
Yeah, Bruce Sitter's more of a splitter, I realize. But Lee Smith coming in throwing gas. Now it's, as you're saying, it's the starters coming in throwing 100.
Yeah, the guys, again, you just throw as hard as you can for as long as you can and then bring somebody out of the bullpen that throws almost as hard. It's been a great week so far and a lot to come. Again, there's so much going on this week. The state softball finals for single and AA start tomorrow. You got Glenville State in the Softball World Series Thursday, the Mountaineers in the regional, of course, on Friday.
And hey, real quick, tomorrow we'll get you some Brody Kresser sound, but if you can't wait, new 3 Guys Before the Game is out, MetroNews TV app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Brody Kresser on 3 Guys Before the Game. All right, well, I'm going to head to Charleston. You guys, I'll join you tomorrow. And then Friday, I'll host the show from down there, and we'll obviously get the flavor of what's going on at the ballpark. So a big week, and we appreciate you listening and watching the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.